Proceed.
Hello.
Oh no, they brought the dread hair girl back. Oh no.
Very much like your name.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Can we start with the beginning? Do you identify as a female?
I identify as a woman, yeah.
Okay. There
Right.
we go.
So I do want to get back to your premise. You're saying that women have been devalued, right, by the sexual revolution. This kind of presumes two things. One, that there has been a loss of worth, right, for women. So you're saying that women have, as human beings, lost worth. Women who, prior to their sexual revolution, were worth more than women today.
Yes.
I would say that, yes, women have devalued themselves by becoming overtly
According to
sexual. That's my claim. So, I mean, also according to and let's not remove this from the other
What you mean according to who? She talking to you? Who else talking to you?
part of the claim, which that it has made women infinitely less happy.
Right. So are you saying, but you're saying that according to you, women have been devalued?
Not according to me. According to the time in which people are getting married, how difficult it is for people
statistics,
to find a partner that's
okay.
willing to commit to them, and I think that's in large part due to the fact that women are offering sex for free because it was a major component of the sexual revolution was this idea.
So a woman's
that,
worth is tied to her sexuality.
It's not tied to, well, absolutely. If you're going to be having multiple partners, you are going to be devaluing yourself.
You're worth
Exactly.
as a human being.
Not as
Yes.
a human being, just, in terms
You're doing
of
it to
trying
yourself.
have a partnership and a productive relationship. Certainly men are not going to be clamoring to have a relationship with somebody when there's the market is throwing them.
And if you don't stop doing it, you're going to hell. Come on, man.
A man's response to your actions is what defines your worth, right?
Yeah, well, I would say that I would argue that what makes women actually happy is family. So if you're interrupting, so just to connect the dots for you, when women are having sex with multiple partners, it devalues them for men, right?
For men. So,
yes. So
men define a woman's worth.
Well, I would say both of them kind of define one another's worth because I think the ultimate goal for people to be happy is actually family.
Okay, so you're saying
Not work.
in all cases, a woman is going to be more fulfilled in regards to family.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And this is going to work in all cases. You're saying there's no individual case in which a woman can feel, fulfilled.
Most cases.
Without being tied to other people in the case of family.
I think there could be an exceptional case for everything. I think there are exceptional cases, but I think that if we all start trying to be the exception as opposed to recognizing the rule, which is that people in life are more fulfilled when they achieve a family unit and when they have children, women in particular, especially aspiring to children, then you are going to end up with a bunch of people who are unhappy because your job cannot replace the feeling of having a family.
So what?
In a broken family too, and a bunch of bastards. Okay.
What you're saying is we need to look at every individual case and see what is going to fulfill you or what is going to, I guess, essentially predict your happiness more. Because if we look at, for example, the Nordic countries, right? These are countries, I'm talking about like Sweden, Denmark, right? These countries tend to be I think in the past 14 years, they've been ranked as the highest in happiness and marital satisfaction from women, right? And we see that they also have been the most open in regards to sexual norms and sexual roles, right? So, and we also see that there's less rates of STDs reported. We see more, and that's also due to comprehensive sex education that's pushed in those countries. So we see that and that's a direct result of the sexual revolution, right? So when we're seeing that direct reports of happiness, right, we don't have these same rates in America. In these countries that are more sexually open, why would we see those rates in those type of countries?
So I think you might be referring to this sort of mass-produced study that was a part of a behavioral science study, which said that women were the happiest women in the world were women that were actually unmarried and had careers.
No.
Okay. Well, there was
reported happiness.
Okay, sure. I'm talking about the same thing. It was reported happiness, but it could be there's tons of studies. The point being is that in 2023, there was this massive scandal where they recognized that a lot of these studies that were being produced, behavioral science, was proven to be a complete fraud. They were unable to reproduce these studies, and they also found that the data had been faked. The data that we can look at that I think shows, and you can let me know if you agree with this, if women, and under the imagination of the feminist umbrella, were really unhappy when they were in the home, and then entering the workforce has made women happier and infinitely feeling more secure about themselves, we could, I think, reasonably expect that there would have been a decrease in suicide rates amongst women.
You would have to go ahead and
Wait, so she's saying it increased? Damn. I didn't know that.
show how that
No surprise though.
correlation, right, is going to be a direct cause of women going into the workforce.
Okay, well, how can we, let's measure, then you have to give me a way that we can measure happiness. How can we
Right.
measure happiness? So I would say suicide rates would be a good thing to look at. Drug, alcohol consumption would be a good
Of course,
thing
right?
to
But we
look
would have
at.
to, I can say at this point in society, I don't think everyone is happy. I think there's a lot of things that we need to reconcile in
Okay,
society.
that's what I'm
right?
getting at. So I
Right? But
think
we have
women
to
are-
look at the cause, right? Why are these things predicted, right?
She just told you what the cause was for minutes and minutes and minutes. You ain't listening. You ain't listening.
And for example, if we talk about men, there are a lot of things we can look at, right? That tend to predetermine suicide, right? But we can't say, oh, these two things are happening at the same time. This caused this other thing.
Yes, that's right. But I do think that we can objectively say that women who are committing suicide rates more than they were in the 1950s, like it has actually increased marginally. That's not a sign that us entering the workforce suddenly made us
How
all
is
very
it a
happy.
cause of the workforce,
We're also binge drinking at a higher rate.
How's this
We're
cause
taking
of the
opioids
entering
at a
the
higher rate.
How is this a cause of
Because you enter into the workforce, that's more pressure on you. A lot of people get pressure on them. What do? Turn to alcohol.
entering
Because
the
Not everybody, but some people.
I think women are being
You think?
put on a pathway aspirationally.
But you're gonna have to. You're saying you think this, right? But where's the cause? Like you're not substantiating the claim. You're saying this is what I think. I'm seeing two.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Great job.
I'm sorry, man. I be a little rude sometimes. I'm like, I'm glad. Next. Please don't let Dre here come up, though. She be tripping. Looking like, damn. What's that singer called? Rick James?
Hello.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
Nice to meet you.
So when we're talking about the value of women on a societal scale and how we view each
I saw her face earlier. She was making all kind of faces. Let's see what she got to say.
other, right? When you're devaluing us, you're objectifying us. And follow me, I promise. But rape rates have gone down by about half in the last 20 years, right? So if you're saying we're less valuable now, why wouldn't we be suffering at a higher rate?
So is the argument that you're making, just so I understand, that because women are giving up sex for free, they're not being raped?
Every study shows rape is not correlated with just sexual gratification. It is a power structure.
Okay.
So it is about objectifying and abusing women when you rape them, not about whether or not you want sex. What I am saying is that women are less objectified, so therefore we are being raped less.
Okay, so you think that in today's society, because this is pretty wild for me.
What is she?
In the 1950s, you're saying women were more objectified than today in the land of OnlyFans, the Kardashian clan, and women that are essentially putting up
Don't forget the Westbrooks.
their boobs and butts for free on Instagram. You're saying we finally have achieved less objectification, where women can't even get onto an advertising. You can't even advertise a bag without them having to be naked in order for them to get a career as a model. You're saying, oh great, we've achieved actually less objectification.
So I'm not trying to suggest that I think that the over-commodification of women's bodies is positive. But what I am saying is that when you're going to the 1950s, that we shouldn't put this glazed look of, oh, it was so happy. We had single income households and we got to stay home. We also had a pill popping problem. We also were viewed as maids. Like we were seen as a house appliance far more than we were as people.
Man, who the heck were popping pills in the 50s? Man, please. Nobody ain't popping no pills in the 50s. Who? Unless they was prescribed.
And
I mean, it's
so
possible.
When you have that kind of objectification where you are in a subservient position, I think we're facing a different form today. But I think that rape is a signifier of a contradiction to your statement.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense, but I do want to rebut it on a couple of points. So first, I just want to say, suggesting that objectification has gone downward since the 1950s is wild. That's just a firm no. That is not.
Yeah,
the
that's
truth.
crazy.
No, that's not true.
Wait, so do you feel
But
like
hold on, let me answer your
like,
second thing.
Okay.
Second thing, you then brought up, okay, women were at home, but they were pill popping. Well, you then have to acknowledge we're actually popping more pills now, right?
That's what I said.
So we have actually increased our amount of pill popping. Women are having overdoses on opioids. And on top of that, since I think 1999, by rate, we are increasing our opioid use compared to men. So women are not popping pills less because we're going into the workforce. That's actually not true at all either. We're also, like I said to you, consuming alcohol more and binge drinking more than we did in the 1950s, which is why I was trying to get her to say, we need to look at actually give me any reasonable metric of how we can define happiness. Because it's hard, right? Are you happy, yes or no?
Sure, but wait, hold on. We're actually avoiding what my original point was about rape being the signifier.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Out of here. Next.
Please return to your seat.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.